Yeah. So you are welcome to class once again.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So we are looking at summarizing data at micro level using pivot tables. We previously saw how to summarize data at macro level by using various charts. Took a look at various charts. I think yesterday we looked at histogram. Before, I think we also looked at
Scatter plot.
scatter plot. Yes, thank you. Okay, and I did explain that when using charts, you must consider the data type. You must consider the characteristics of the data. That will help you to determine what type of chart to use. So that's critically important. That's very important. Okay. That's that for macro level. But when you are summarizing data at micro level, you can use pivot tables for that. Okay. Now, when you do that, you have a more granular type of summary. Okay. It's not as summarized. Usually, it's not as summarized as what you have in some charts. For instance, if you look at consider a pie chart, for instance. You see this now? For example, if you look at a pie chart that deals with gender, classification by gender, you have only two, male and female, just two categories, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so you see only two categories, but when you are summarizing as micro level, it may not be summarized that much to that extent, but just to provide a lot of information, a lot of useful information. Okay, so let's see how that works. Okay. How do we create a pivot table? To create a pivot table, just click in the data set, click on pivot table. You see it has automatically selected it. Okay. Then select the data range, which is automatically selected already. Then choose where you want the pivot report to be placed. You either place it in the existing worksheet or in a new worksheet. Let's place this one in this existing worksheet. Okay. Location, that's where you want to place the table. Let me click here. Okay. Now, this is my pivot table. I just deleted it. I want to create it on a new sheet. I think that would be more
New worksheet.
new worksheet.
Okay.
Yes, I think that would be nicer for us. Let's see. Okay, so just click in it, go to insert tab. Click the Insert tab, click Pivot Table. It's already automatic. The data is already automatically selected. We are going to place it in a new sheet. Then click on OK. Simple as that. Our pivot table is ready. It's on sheet 7. I want to put it after the, let's change this one's name to pivot table data. This is the pivot table itself. Okay, so now the pivot table is ready. So what you now need to do is, notice that when you click in the pivot table, this pivot table fields section appears. Okay. Now, these are the pivot fields. These are the zones that you are going to use to construct the pivot table. Okay. So now, let's do something very simple. Let's say, for example, I just click on grades here. You see it automatically places grades on the row section here. Okay. Then let me also drag the same grade to values. You see what it has done for me? Do you understand what has happened now? Now it's telling you that 38 people got A, 17 people got B, 16 got C, and so forth. And this is the total. Okay. You see how it has quickly summarized this thing for you.
Yes. Can you go over again? Let me see.
Yes. I said, I will explain these zones. I said, let's take an example with grades. Let's say we want to summarize by grade. By just clicking grade, it automatically places it here. Alternatively, I can click on grade and drag it to rows, which means I want the various grades to be arranged, the first grade on the first row, second grade on the second row, like that. Okay. Then the values, these values here, is very important. So you can drag any of these items. Let me drag the same grade into values. So it automatically gives
it.
what?
I don't think I was seeing where you are dragging it from. Like I was in a pivot table place. You say you're dragging it.
Are you seeing my pointer? Can you see my pointer?
No, sir.
You what? Can you see my pointer?
Yes.
Can you still see it?
Yes.
Okay, yes, I'm seeing it.
You can see it now.
Okay, I'm seeing it now. Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'm saying that you see these 4 zones here. These 4 sections here. Filter, column, values, rows. Now, when you are working with pivot table, you must understand how to use them. Okay. These are the fields In other words, these are the columns on the table. Serial number, registration number, score, and so forth. Those are the fields. Okay. So these fields, to create your pivot table, you have to drag this field to the any section to any of these sections. Okay. You drag each a
Okay.
field and drag it to any of these sections. Now, the field you place in this section depends on what you are trying to achieve. Okay. So the skeleton of the pivot table is already here for you. To build report, choose fields from pivot field lists. Okay. So now I said to demonstrate, first of all, let's try to work with grades. Let's say you want to see so let's say you want to summarize this data by grade. How do you do that? You just come to the field list here, click on grade. You see where it automatically went to, the rows there.
Yes.
Okay. Alternatively, you can drag it, click it and drag it to rows. When you do that, just look at your pivot table. You see that it has already started, placing stuff there. Okay. Now, it has listed the grades. What it's saying is that these are all the unique grades. These are the different grades it could find. Okay. But it doesn't know what you want to see about the grades. Not until you place something under values in the values section. All right. So now, if you drag anything there, like grade that as well, it will automatically give you a count, which means it will count the number of A's, place it there, count of grade, B's, that's the number, C's, that's the number, and so forth. Okay? Exactly. Of course, you can change this
Yes.
to something else. We'll look at that later. Okay, so you can change it to something else, depending on what you are trying to do anyway. So you see, by this simple action we have taken now, we have already created a summary, right? Now, but what if we want to see the grades classified or categorized by campus? To do that, we can just move campus to columns. So now it's telling you the grades. It's telling you these are Ekema campus people, this Ugbo campus, this is total. So from Ugbo campus, 11 people had A's. Sorry, from Ekema campus. B, 4 people had B, 3 people had C, and so forth. In Ugbo campus, 27 people had A's, 13 had B's, and so forth. These are the total of Ugbo and Ekema campus. This is the grand total. Okay. Does it look useful?
It's very useful, sir.
Very useful, yes.
Like for instance, now it helps you to know the persons that fail in ball and the persons that fail in
It helps you to know. It helps you to know what?
It helps you to know the number of persons that failed in particular course in
Exactly.
one ball. So
Thank you very much. And then in that case, you cannot know how to work on it. If this number is too high, that may be
yes,
a cause of concern.
yes.
Yes. Okay. So you see how it just summarizes this thing, so easily. That's the beauty of pivot table. So anyway, let's go on. Now, let's say what can we add now? Is this place? We have not used this place now. Filters. Let's assume, what else can we use to summarize here now?
Let's use the major.
They are major. Okay. You know what I want us to do? Let's that major. We are going to use the major, but notice that when you click outside the pivot table, this box dialog box, box disappears. Okay. Let's deselect campus for a while. Let's put major there. Okay. So you see the way it is now? Grades. Grades, hardware, networking, software, total. This is not confusing, right? This is what we did before, just that we put major there instead of campus, right? Now,
Yeah.
let's now move campus here. Can you see what has happened now? Now, what has happened now is we can now display summaries based on campus. Okay? This one now is all, both the Kenwa and the Ubowo together. If I want to see only Ubowo, I just come here, click Ubowo. Okay. So this is showing me information about Ubowo student now. You can see total is 70 for Ubowo. Grand total of all of them. If I want to see Ekenwa campus summary, I come here, click Ekenwa campus. Okay. See, that's 28. Okay. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. So this is how pivot table works. Okay. There are lots of other things you can do. Okay, let's use instead of grade here, let's remove this grade. Let's put score there. Okay. Now it's giving us the sum of scores. This is not likely to be useful for anything, right? What are you doing with the sum of the scores of all the people who got A's? It may not be useful for anything. Right? Okay. Now, what may be more useful is average in this case. Average score. Right? So, why? Because this score, you are adding up the scores of different people together. Usually in school, that they don't do that. Are you getting my point? So what's more useful is average. So let's change this sum of scores to average. So you can come here, just click value field settings, and then click average. Click OK. Now it's giving you the average scores. It's giving you the average scores. You can do your formatting and format. Let's use 1 decimal place. That makes more sense. Hmm?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go back to the data. Let me ask you a few questions. Now, look at this data again. We have summarized with score, grades, major, campus. Is there any other field here you think we can use to summarize?
We can use remark.
We can use remark. Okay, thank you.
So,
Yes, I use remark. Why do you think we can use remark?
so you'll be able to know the persons that passed, number of persons and students that passed.
Okay. Why can't we use registration number?
Okay, well, you're asking why can't you use registration about to actually do what?
To summarize. Can we summarize registration number?
No, we can't do that because it's not know what's wrong and what to do and all that. So we don't really need the registration number to do that.
To do that. Yeah, thank you. That's right. That's right. But looking at it from a data analyst perspective, now there's something you should realize here. Registration number cannot be summarized. Serial number cannot be summarized. Why? Because they are unique values. They are all unique. They are all different. Okay? There are no two persons that have the same serial number. There are no two or more persons that have the same registration number. Each person has his own registration number, so there's no way it can be summarized. You understand? This one, we can summarize this because there's repetition. Okay? There's repetition. So after summarizing, to reduce to about 6. After summarizing remark, to reduce to just 2. Pass and fail. Are you following? After summarizing campus, to reduce to how many?
I think it's Ugbawa and Kewan. It's
Which is 2. When you summarize something, the thing gets smaller, right? It becomes small.
Yes.
You can summarize major as well because they are repetitions.
Yes. Into 3, yeah?
Yes. So whenever you have all unique values, it means that you cannot use that field. It's not possible to use that field to summarize anything. Okay, that's why. Let's see. Let's remove this. Let's put registration number there. Can you see? You see that? See how long it is? Is this summary?
No.
It's not summary because the length of that thing is the same as the length of this one.
Yeah, of the main data.
Except if there's repetition, which is not supposed to be. Let me see if there's repetition in this data. If it's shorter, then you just know that